Wattson is perhaps amongst the cutest, most innocent legends in the whole arsenal of characters, but her backstory, like many legends, has some challenges that proves, despite her joyous, friendly personality, she should never be underestimated in the ring. Let's take a deeper look at everything we know about Wattson's backstory. I'll be showcasing every piece of text, lore and canon story available for Wattson currently. We'll start with Wattson's official description. Wattson is 22 and was born on Solace, the same planet as Mirage and Gibraltar. Wattson's full name is Natalie Paquette. The official description reads as follows. Natalie Wattson Paquette is a familiar face in the Apex games, though for a different reason than most. Daughter of the game's lead electrical engineer, she studied his manuals to stay close to him and discovered her calling at a young age. Though she could be completely distracted one moment and hyper-focused the next, electricity grounded her. Its ordered, predictable flow made sense in a way the rest of the world didn't. She devoured every book she could on the subject and eventually became such a skilled engineer that she was commissioned to build the Apex game's modified containment ring. Unfortunately, her father died the day it was revealed, leaving her alone. At her lowest moment, a group of competitors invited her to return to the arena with them, assuring she would always have a home. She now fights alongside her friends in the arena she helped build, destroying incoming missiles, recharging shields, creating fences, and using her pylon to silence fights that get too loud. Nobody knows the arena better than Wattson. Anyone who underestimates her is in for a shock. So there's some reference here to Wattson potentially having some social or learning difficulties, with references throughout her description. The sentence, though she could be completely distracted one moment and hyper-focused the next, is a typical trait of ADHD. Another line reads, electricity grounded her. Its ordered, predictable flow made sense in a way the rest of the world didn't. This once again suggests that she feels a little out of place and struggles to fit in a little. And finally, this line, using her pylon to silence fights that get too loud. Those on the autism spectrum also have difficulty dealing with loud noises or chaotic moments. There's no confirmation of any of this, but it's safe to say Wattson has had a sheltered life that is a little different to the norm, but she has managed to grow into a strong fighter despite her own struggles. Part of this amazing growth has to be thanks to how much her father cared for her, so it's heartbreaking to see that she has to go into the Apex games without her father by her side, but she still stands strong to prove him proud. Here's the first animated short for Wattson that shows that whole story play out.
My dearest Natalie, as I write this letter, it's the middle of the night in late summer. An hour ago, you cracked the equations necessary to power the force field. You showed me up tonight, my magnificent daughter, and I couldn't be happier or prouder of that. I always knew you were special, but never did I fathom that the little girl who taught her staffed Nacy multiplication tables would grow up to master quantum laser mechanics. I have assured the Syndicate that the modified containment force field will be operational in a month's time, and it's all thanks to you. I may be just a doddering old fool trying to hold on to Mon Bébé a little while longer before he loses her to a daughter. But I do see you. I see the strong, brilliant, wonderful young woman you've become. And I know when the day comes that I'm no longer with you, you are going to be just fine. The games will be brilliant because you are brilliant. My daughter can and will do anything she wants in this life because she is the smartest woman in the frontier. Je t'aime de tout mon cœur, pour toujours, Papa.
I did it, Papa. I hope wherever you are, you're cheering for me.
In Wattson's first loading screen art, we can learn a little more about how she looked at the other Apex Games competitors as family and how she sees the world in a unique but impressive way. After the funeral, I stood in our kitchen and it was so quiet. I had dreamt of quiet like that, but now that I had it, I was terrified and alone. I sat on the floor, and I know how silly this sounds, but I hid under the table. That was where they found me. Anita, Makoa, AJ, even Dr. Caustic, and he hates everybody. They'd just as soon stab each other in the back or the front, but they put all that aside to support me, the electrician's kid. I thought I knew what family was, but my equations were incomplete. My family is here, at the games, and now it's my turn to support them, with every last charge in me. So from what we know so far, Wattson is the youngster of the Apex games. In comparison to all of the other legends who have had pretty dark pasts or dangerous run-ins with death, war or other difficulties, Wattson has had a pretty sheltered life. That's not to say she didn't have her own personal difficulties to face, but Wattson's father did an excellent job at keeping her safe. It's likely Wattson never got to see what life was like during the war, and perhaps the life she had in the outlands is all she knew. Not exactly the friendliest place to live, of course, but miles better than the hardships Mirage or Bangalore would have had to go through growing up, both of which are 30 and 35 respectively, which means they would have grown up during when the war was still going on. The battlefield may seem like a dangerous place for her considering her relatively sheltered upbringing, but it seems like she has managed to maintain her innocence, at least somewhat. Even still, she has what it takes to kill and should definitely not be underestimated. So far, that's all we know about Wattson. Her story isn't too complex, and it seems unlikely we'll see more about her backstory for a while, especially considering there are many untold stories such as Pathfinder's search for his creator, Crypto's search for the truth, and Bloodhound's mysterious past. Which legend would you like me to cover next? I've already covered most other legends in a number of past videos, so make sure to watch those too if you want to see them, but we have yet to go into detail for Lifeline, Caustic and Bangalore. Which one should be next? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, leave your thoughts and make sure to subscribe for more daily Apex Legends content if you haven't already. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!